Hello, hello. Welcome to another podcast with David from Carrot and Daikon. So this is podcast number 4. Um, in podcast number 2, I spoke about how much I hated £1,000,000 menu and just how like the jump from market store business to restaurant business is just so massive. It's like I described, it's like jumping from GCSE to A level maths. It's just a massive jump. You just don't see it coming. So for the market store business to have the right mindset and skill set to even start a restaurant, they need to start from scratch. They need research, time, and all that stuff before they go in. Also, the investment is massive, so investors want to make sure that their concept is proven, the menu sells, and it's just really hard to prove in 2 services during the show and not being able to show any more for it. It's just that's one of the main reasons why you see a lack in investment, because these investors won't do it because it's such high risk. They probably won't be getting their money back, or that the those who do get it, they're using that money to like try and error that concept. They won't be making that money back anytime soon. It will take 3-4 years to do it. So it also gives an unrealistic expectation for viewers that is all about concept and stuff like that. It takes a lot of grind, takes a lot of time, takes a lot of craft, research, experience, dedication as well. Needed to start a restaurant up anyways, and to make it even a success, you would have to go that extra mile. So I feel like a lot of that is overlooked. Customer service is overlooked, and all of those things are so key to making a restaurant a success. So here are some of my points on how to make £1,000,000 menu better for season 3, hopefully. So definitely maybe change the title and the name, because realistically you won't be getting £1,000,000. So why would you put it on the title? Like, unless you have 3, 4, 5, no, unless you have like 5, 6, 7 units churning consistently and making the profits, then perhaps you can make £1,000,000. But if you have 1 unit, it won't be till you accumulate maybe £1,000,000 in like 10 years or something like that. So not a realistic title to have. Second major change in the concept, or like just overall, shows that instead of having market store business, they would have like a 1 unit restaurateur, cafe owner, a unit, just that they are competing to open a second restaurant. Reasons for that is because they already have a proven food concept. They have a proven model that is already in the market. They have a brand already. They have customers. They have food and staff that are serving what they're making, and it just shows that the investors are able to put more trust in them, that they have evidence of a proven concept and model that will appeal to customers, and hopefully the investors will see potential in that, and to be able to open 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of just having an unproven concept in the start of the show. So being able to appeal to restaurateurs who want to open a second location, third location, and just have that model proven and should be able to show that to viewers is a bit more educational in that sense, because then you get to see the real life, how they got to this point, how they serve customers, and their whole concept, and how it impacts on the customers around them, and investors as well. So I think that's a better all round, be able to appeal to people. Next point is just the challenges as well. So you can see that in order to hopefully impress the investors, you got to conquer the lunch crowd, the dinner evening crowd, maybe the breakfast crowd, like the breakfast crowd as well if they are, but probably sticking to lunchtime and dinner is pretty good, and being able to serve up those services during to the investors is always good, to be able to see how that potential concept works in a location and how it could potentially grow as well. So that's what I feel like is just lacking, is that education that shows people how to get from this point to this point, and not just chucking straight into it, because that is it's wild how much inexperience, naivety, and we all face it when we first start up like a restaurant or cafe, because we have so much ideas, we have views that we've seen other people do it, we've read it up, but when you get chucked in there, it takes so much time. Like the amount of time, the mistakes that you make, it's not amplified into a 1 hour TV show. It's actually, you have to correct it, you have to adapt, you have to change, and it takes days, weeks, months, and perhaps even years to even establish a menu that you'll be happy with. So to be able to do it in 3 days, or like 3-4 days for these market store operators, is, yeah, it's, I could definitely see the struggles in them getting investment because it's such a steep learning curve. Investors don't want to invest in something that is not proven, and that it would pose a massive risk of them losing their money. So that's why they're less likely to actually invest. Also, instead of particularly focusing on one particular cuisine, they could focus on like just like continental cuisine. So if you think Southeast Asia, North America, European food, so you have maybe like 5-6 well established 1 unit restaurateurs with different concepts, and they compete with their one dish that will hopefully prove to the investors this dish and my concept will make money in whatever location as well, or specific location, and they should invest into them. That will probably, that show will definitely appeal to me more because I am a 1 unit entrepreneur, like restaurateur, and hopefully it will appeal to people who are actually watching as well, because then they can develop their own restaurant concepts, their food concepts as well, and just have their own model to be able to hopefully take to like supper clubs or their market store before jumping into restaurateur, because it is, that's the jump. Being able to jump from market store to restaurant is a huge one, and to be able to hopefully be able to see the different cuisines develop, that's what you want to see. I think you investors want to see the best concepts there, and hopefully they'll be able to compete. Final two goes into compete with getting a second location. I'm sure that's realistically what they would want for themselves, and hopefully for the viewers to see. Next point is, instead of that 1 hour stupid 1 hour wait, you would take 20 seconds for investors to hopefully just like stand up if they want to invest, or at least if they don't want to invest, they give constructive feedback for the restaurateur, that maybe this works, maybe this don't work, this needs to be changed, just so that they have something to move forward with, instead of just not knowing, or at the end of the show they find out so and so. It's just like, you much rather see that constructive criticism that they could move forward with, and that will just be an all-round better educational show, so, and more entertaining, because you get to see the whole service going on, foods come out, how does it look, hopefully how it tastes, and the views of like the customers as well, and their feedback. And last point, the one part I really did like about season 1, season 2 is whenever the teams looked a bit lost, Fred came in, helped them through service. Fred giving them advice on customer service and just how the flow of the kitchen works. I feel like it's good. I feel like he needs to be a bit more hands-on, give them the next level feedback that they could take their concept to next level, because clearly he's got a lot of experience in the customer service and like restaurant business and stuff like that, so it'll be more insightful in that sense. And that, it, like I said, it just provides a more all-round complete show. Investors will hopefully invest in a restaurateur every episode instead of none every episode, and hopefully they would actually be able to get a second location in somewhere and viewers could actually go to, because at the moment, looking at some of those who did get investment, probably only like 30% actually set up another location, and I don't know if any of it is in London because it's just so expensive. But just like you want the rate to be a lot higher, so like 70% they get a location, and you can see that where that money's coming from, you could actually go to that concept. So Yep, so thanks for listening, guys. So those are some of my points that would make the show a lot better and an all-round more educational show for people to watch and realistic show. So if you have any of your own suggestions, just leave in the comments below. Would love to read those. Tune in for the next podcast where I'll talk about something else businessy, entrepreneurial, restaurant, stuff like that. So yeah. Thanks so much for listening. I've been David and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.